Ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Time Machine, I have with me the lovely Shanice Wilson. Shanice, thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's no problem. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just, keeping busy. And, my album just came out February 21st, and I have 2 kids, and I have a husband. So life has been really busy, but it's been good.
Right, it's understandable, and it's glad to see you back out doing your thing.
Thank you.
All right. Now, first off, how did you get started? When did you get started singing?
I started singing professionally when I was 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I signed to A&M Records when I was 11. I did a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial with Ella Fitzgerald when I was 9 years old. But I signed my first record deal when I was 11. I started singing when I was a baby, though, because my mom taped it. I was 7 months, and I was still in my crib. And my mother said my first song that I sang was "Tell Me Something Good" by Shaka Khan, and my mom taped it. And so that was my first time I ever tried to sing.
Mm-hmm.
But professionally, I've been doing it. I had since I would say I did the commercial when I was 9, and I did my first album. My first album came out when I was 14.
Okay, so you've been in the game since you were younger.
Yeah, so I grew up in it.
Right, and basically, I believe you cut your teeth in like the premier talent show of its day, Star Search. Am I correct?
Yep, I did Star Search when I was right around the time, like right before I signed my first record deal.
Mm-hmm. So, like, by you being on Star Search, how you compare that to like American Idol as it being like the Star Search of its day?
Yeah, American Idol is definitely like Star Search. The only difference is I'm so glad when I did Star Search, they didn't like tell us what we did wrong, what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And no, but I love American Idol. It's one of my favorite shows, and I think it's good to let people know, what they're doing wrong, because you don't want, people to tell you, oh, you sound great, and you may need some, some to make some changes,
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to so you don't think that, oh, everything is great. You need somebody to tell you the truth to guide you in the right direction. So I'm not mad at that. But when I did Star Search, that's the only difference, is they didn't critique us when we performed. Right.
And this thing sort of been bugging me. I want to know, were you ever on Kids Incorporated?
Yeah, I was. I was the first. I did the first 15 episodes.
Okay.
I don't know, not that first 15. I did the first season. I think it was the first season.
Okay. And
I was the keyboard player.
Right.
And I think at the time I was like 9 or 10 years old.
Okay.
Yep. And what's her name? Fergie.
From Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas. She was one of the lead singers. And Rashawn Patterson was. Do you know Rashawn Patterson?
I believe I heard of the name, but
he's a great singer. He's had a couple albums out, but he was one of the singers in it, and it was kind of cool. But it's just funny to watch everybody grow up, because when I see Fergie now as an adult, it's like, wow, I remember when she was little.
Right. Now, I can remember, like, the first joint I remember hearing from you, of course, was I Love Your Smile. We'll get into that later. But I also remember this song that you did with Kiara called This Time.
Yeah. Yep, I did that song when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually one of my biggest songs, because I think in Billboard, I think it went to number 5 or something like that in Billboard. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did really well.
Yeah, now remember, I'll Be Sure.
It might have been number 1. I got to ask.
Right.
It's so long, I don't remember.
Right, and also remember, too, I'll Be Sure did like a remix to that.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think you might be right. I think you're right.
Yeah, even though I'm 20, I got to know my stuff. It's what I do.
Wow. You know me stuff that I didn't know.
Wow. Now, did you expect I Love Your Smile to be the big hit that it became?
Say it again?
Did you expect I Love Your Smile to be the big hit that it was?
When I did I Love Your Smile, no. I was, do you hear that phone ringing? When I did I Love Your Smile, I was praying for it to be a big hit, but whenever you release a record, you never know what it's going to do. It's like you take a chance each time. So I didn't expect I Love Your Smile to be such a big song, though. Right,
because I remember it, like, coming on, I was like 5 or 6, and I remember seeing the video when you been on Soul Train. It sort of had that whole spring, summertime vibe, and, make you want to go out and have a couple of Kodak moments.
Yeah, it was a very happy song. And I remember when I worked with Narda Michael Walden on that album, and I remember the Persian Gulf War was going on at the time, and we wanted to make people smile because there was so much sadness going on in the world at that time. So that's why we wanted a happy song that would make people laugh and make people smile.
Right, and I also remember, too, like, back around 1991, you were on the episode of Family Matters, performing with Darius McCrary, who played Eddie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did that, yeah, I did that. It's so funny because they still replay, like, I still see, like, reruns.
Right, and you sort of looking like, oh, my God, what was I thinking with the hair?
Like, look at my hair, look at my clothes. It's funny when you look back at stuff that you, like, when I look at the stuff I've done in the 80s and stuff I've done in the 90s, I'm like, oh, my gosh, what was I thinking? Why did I wear that?
Yeah, I'm sure, don't we all, because I look at old middle school pictures, I'm like, why did I wear that shirt? Why did I have my hair like this?
That's what I think. When I saw the Family Matters episode, it was hilarious.
Right.
But, yeah, I had a good time, though.
Now,
and I definitely want to do more acting.
Okay.
Hopefully in movies this time.
Okay, now, back in around, like, 1991, you were the prominent female R&B singer out there. I believe Tracy Spencer was out, too, at that time with This House and Tender Kisses or whatever. So was there any, like, friendly competition between the two?
No. We actually, to this day, me and her, we've always been cool. It was like never about us competing or anything. We did come out around the same time, but no, we've always been good friends.
Okay, that's like
that's
good.
How it should be. I think that's how it should be. I think people need to start sticking together and instead of just trying to compete and hating on each other. Everybody should really try to work together and help each other.
Okay. Now, if you had to rank your albums from, like, 1 to 5, like, how would you rank them?
All my albums?
Yeah.
Like, each one individually?
Yeah.
Like, you mean, like, just name, like, each album and say how I feel about each one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, that's hard.
Take your time.
That's hard, because... Okay, my first album was called Discovery, and that came out in 87. And that was my first album, and that album will always be special to me because that was the first time I was ever been in a recording studio. Well, not ever. I did some background sessions for some other people before that, but, this is my first time I've ever done an album. So that album is still very special to me today. And if I had to rank the album from 1 to 5...
Yeah.
I like that album. That's one of my favorite albums. I got to give it a 5 because that's one of my favorite albums. It's hard ranking my own albums. Let me see. And then the Inner Child album, I give that a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I don't know. And then my new album, I give that a 5 too.
Okay. Now, from, like, before Every Woman's Dreams came out, the last album you released came off, I believe, was The Face, out in 99, which had the hit single, When I Close My Eyes. Now, that was sort of like a big hit because I remember the video being on at around BT, but a lot of the fans want to know, like with the long break, of course, with kids and getting married and things like that contributed to the long break, correct?
Yeah, I took some time off because I've always wanted to have a family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer with LaFace Records anymore. I left LaFace, and then I wanted to take time off to start my family. I just thought it was the perfect time because I've always had my career, but I've never had a family, and I've always wanted to have children and a husband. And so I got married. I'm married to Flex Alexander. We just celebrated our 6-year anniversary. And we have 2 kids. We have a 2-year-old son, and we have a 4-year-old daughter. Mm. And I just wanted to take time off to do that. Now I'm ready to get back out there with my music.
All right.